In this video, I want to show you guys how to make these images. Now, all these shots were made completely in camera with just a few rolls of Ultramax. And speaking of which, this is my first couple rolls of shooting Ultramax after the redesign. What do you guys think? I kind of like it. It's like a retro-y kind of vibe. I don't know. I definitely dig it. But yeah, everything was done in camera. I just want to go through, I guess, the techniques and show you guys what I did here to get these images.
Why so dystopia?
Bro. I was in some kind of a mood, right? And it all kind of stemmed from an annoyance from Lowe's. Now, I'm a contractor, okay? It's what I do. I'm a home repair dude. And so I go to like Home Depot, Lowe's all the time. And I've been getting increasingly irritated with like the surveillance. When I go there, like I'm greeted in the parking lot with this giant security thing, and it video records you and it repeats a blasted message that says, you know, we are video monitoring you right now, and this will be sent to the police or whatever. Then, you know, that's not all. It gets better or worse. I don't know. You go in the store, right? And then like you go to check out and you're being like recorded right there's a giant screen with like recording in progress. Needless to say, it's a really nice Orwellian shopping experience, right? And then I had to compile on top of this, I had just watched a video from Ben Jordan about these flock cameras, right? The surveillance cameras that they have all over the nation. It's like a giant network that is being built or is kind of built, but they're expanding. And it's kind of creepy. You know, I'm not like a conspiracy guy, you know, I'm just like, mind my own business, you know what I mean? But like, wow. I don't know. After like all these things piling up, I was kind of in that vibe of like, I don't know, I think a Minority Report was like really a documentary. So now that you know the setup, I'll take you guys through kind of how I made these. To do this, I first, before anything, I marked out my shutter window because I knew that I was going to multiple expose or expose the roll a couple times. And when you mark out your shutter, you know, you can rewind it to the same spot and you get your frames mostly in line. Sometimes it comes off a hair or two, you know, hair a little bit, but you can pretty much nail it if you mark out your shutter window. And I took with me a bunch of filters. I have a couple prism filters, like a 3 and a 5 prism filter that basically just splits the image up. You do lose a little bit of contrast with these, but it's a pretty wild result. And I also have a DIY holographic filter that I was using as well. And the hack here, this actually was from a pair of $3 eBay Rave glasses that I found. So I just popped the lens out of that. So that's a pretty quick hack. So after shooting all 36 frames, I rewound the roll back to the frame where I marked it out, and I set up basically a dark room. I use my monitor as kind of like a projector. And if you guys were asking, a couple people were asking, you know, how do I make the new memo film? And it's pretty much just this, is I set up in a dark room and I just use my television or my monitor as a projector. And then I can, again, I can layer some of those Tiffin filters or the splitters on top of that. So you have something projected, and then this second exposure is basically going to lay on top of whatever you did the first time to give you, you know, I went with really, I don't know, dystopian terms to kind of drive the point home. For that second roll of Ultramax, I got just a little bit more adventurous. I took all of the techniques that I had used on the first roll. I did that, and then I did a little bit more. So what I used was some India ink, and then I backlit India ink in water, and then on some glass. And I used like a sponge. I also used some rubbing alcohol to kind of like disperse the ink and create these like weird, I don't know, globs, right? That I was going to shoot through. Now anywhere, I guess the whole purpose here, let me back up a little bit. The whole purpose of the black globs is because I had already shot everything, you know, one time, there's images on the roll. And I'm going to shoot it again using my frame lines. I'm going to line everything up. And then when I'm shooting through a black glob, all of that black glob should be like, okay, and shine through and not be affected. And I slapped on a red filter. so that this way, anywhere that's not a black glob can be, I don't know, have like a red cast or like a red hue to it to kind of like, I don't know, just give it like a dystopian kind of vibe. And I'm totally happy. It worked out great. Initially, I had used this technique, the black globs technique, to create some darkroom negative masks. And I thought kind of when I was doing that, there was a project, Scary Stories, maybe you guys have seen the video. But totally, worked out. But I thought to myself when doing that, I was like, man, this would be a great technique to use if I was going to like multiple expose something to just kind of like, I don't know, to layer. Like it would be a great layer. So after going through and then shooting everything with the globs on the second go round, I rewound the roll a third time, and then I set up my monitor again, and I just went through with some new words and phrases. I took some of the old words and phrases, again, just anything really technocratic, kind of dystopian, cyberpunky, and then I just projected that, and yeah, and this is what you get. Now, initially, I had planned to expose both sides of these rolls. I had a roll, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago. I shot some turquoise that I was going to expose both. Well, not I was going to. I did. I exposed both sides, and it was such a dud, man. I got maybe one like semi okay shot out of it. It was a flop, and I was like, okay, like I was like, I'm going to just jump back into it, and I'm going to EBS some Ultramax. But after kind of I was like getting into this, I was like, I didn't want to like, you have a chance of messing things up when you're exposing both sides, because you got to flip the film and you got to line it up, and there's always a chance you're going to like misalign stuff. And I didn't want to take that chance. So that's why I tried like stacking the red filter, because I was hoping to get like the effects of the Redscale, which is when you flip everything backwards. I was hoping to get the effects of the Redscale without actually Redscaling the film. And I was kind of, I don't know, I was pretty pleasantly surprised that it kind of worked. Now, technically, it's not the same, because when you're Redscaling, you're shooting through the backing, okay? You're also hitting the color dyes differently. But for my purposes, the minor differences, it's going to scatter the light differently. But, it was just basically a layer stacked in with a bunch of other layers. So for me, it worked out pretty good. When I finish any kind of project or like, this is kind of like a mini kind of themed thing I did that have a purpose, and I'm not randomly shooting stuff. I kind of think about what could have I done? I can't speak today. What could have I done differently? And upon thinking, about how I could have improved this, I think if I had maybe lined up some of the frames, like maybe took notes on like what frames I had taken, like what the scenes were, and then line those up with like text. So anyway, if you found this interesting or some of these techniques interesting, if you could do me a favor, hit me with the thumbs up. It's annoying, as always, for me to ask, but it does absolutely help if you could, hit the thumbs up and stuff. If you guys have a couple extra minutes, a really interesting is the Ben Jordan video that I watched on these flock cameras. But anyway, I'll link it at the end. Hope you guys are well, and until the next video, we'll see you.